Chester's Chasm, a city reeling from the apocalyptic touch of the horsemen's hooves. A banner was raised here, one that called these harbingers to ride together as they never had before, as they never would again.
If this time was the first, what came before? What changed?
Why don't you tell me?
We see the sunlight land on Willow-kept, as though it knows it's only a visitor here. The clouds will come, the gray will come, but in this moment the light has arrived.
Lord, I lay my hands upon him today, so that your light may flow through me and into him.
I bet you want more than water now, huh?
This is my purpose for now, whether it means my death or another's.
The family is coming together, I see.
Hey, I'm Rara, but that's enough about that. Join me on January 7th, 2026 as I become the guest GM for Ever Graceful Day Darken, a 7-part series produced by the Tabletop Talespinners Network. You can find this prequel story on the All Our Faults podcast feed, wherever you consume your podcasts.
You're listening to a Tales Yet Told production. Viewer discretion is advised.
Blood in the Snow is a horror actual play series using the game Hunt by Gila RPGs. The story is inspired by gothic tales of monster hunting and vampirism, so be wary and check the episode description for content warnings as well as a list of cast and crew.
And so the winds of change blow through the forest surrounding the hidden city of Ozzurod. Years passed, and in that time the city of Ozzurod has grown, and the Crimson Castle still stands, now covered in snow, as the winter of a new century rolls in. The heavy wooden gate of the castle falls open, crunching the snow beneath it, revealing the moonlit silhouettes of Blythe, Elvira, and Swan, armed and ready. The light of 3 moons hits the sky, just like the night of that banquet so long ago. And as that light shines down upon you 3, what do we see of your armored looks?
Shall I go first again?
Sure.
It's almost as if the white leather ensemble, the flowing ruffles, the golden buttons, everything, the laced up boots, straps in all sorts of places, carrying whatever secrets that they are. It's almost as if that banquet was when Swan decided that she peaked, actualized, ascended in form. She looks at herself in every moonlit pool of water, whatever that may be, and sees herself, sees a lord of blood, an oath taker, finally, of the sacred blood. She, still in her blood red, long hair braided to her back, her skin without the tan freckles, and more pale, almost as if eyes bloodshot perpetually. She is intense, but she is stronger, and she is more beautiful than she's ever been.
Blythe steps out into the moonlight, changed forever by the banquet. A mere doctor, physician, scientist turned into a knight bound by an oath to the sky, covering the light armor that they wear, a leather fur-covered cape drapes over his body, still lanky, meek, with gauntlets that reach past their knees as a certain transformation has happened to them. With longer arms, clawed gauntlets on their feet, their greaves seem to have these retractable claws for perhaps catching prey as they swoop from the sky. And the thing that is most striking is their once innocent face has changed, their mouth stretched, giving a new meaning to smiling from ear to ear. They cover it, this new monstrous form, with a helmet, with the form of a bat's face. Not any kind of bat, but a vampire bat. He's hunched over, looking with shame of what he is now. Walking behind the proud and beautiful Swan Arkady. And I assume next to them is Elvira.
Elvira was already a tall person before things changed, but she's much taller now. I would say probably somewhere around 7'3", 7'4". And with these changes, of course, had to come new armor, forged especially for her in her new, broader, elongated form. It's the kind of thing that, is mostly meant to scare people away from interacting in the first place. You know, the kind of thing, chainmail with, there's skulls and bones hidden amongst the decorations of the armor, large shoulder pauldrons in the shape of human skulls, old tattered cloths draped across it in various ways to make it almost seem like an old kind of like torn, musty cloths draped across it in ways to kind of almost give the feeling of an antique fireplace in an abandoned building. And the core of the breastplate, there is a void there where light seems to just be absorbed into nothingness. But at the center of it, where armor and flesh and bone should be, there is a faint bluish flame. And as always, her face is covered in a helmet. Whatever has changed about that doesn't matter to her. It doesn't stop her from doing her job.
And as the three of you make your way down the hill and through the city of Ozzurod, feet crunching in the snow, you see people on the streets on this winter night see you over their shoulders and cower, hide behind things. You'll see occasionally someone wave, but for the most part, your presence seems to unsettle a great many of the townsfolk. Something that, years ago, you might not have had to feel. You eventually find your way at the gates of Ozzurod itself, where a woman with dark skin, a wide-brimmed hat with a large point at the top, standing in robes, sees you approach. You see behind her, there is some sort of a purplish energy flickering over the doors of the gate itself. And she looks you all up and down and goes, Sanguis Populi. We've heard about the monster in the forest. The people are getting scared. If the forest is being drained, it's going to go haywire. The illusions... I'm not sure what you'll be able to see out there. But if you can find this thing, you have to stop at those things. If they find this city, we can't keep this barrier up forever. Please.
And you needn't worry. We will find this monster for you.
Thank you. And she turns away from you all and goes, Sorcerers! Lower the barrier for just a moment. Sanguis Populi departs.
Elvira turns to them and asks, how many people have died? Still echoing from under the helm.
As the massive wooden gate slowly begins to creep open, creaking loudly, the mage looks back to you. 4 knights already haven't returned. 12 civilians died passing through the forest. People running from the ruins of Eos after what happened just months ago. We hear their screams at night when they attempt to go through the forest. Whatever's out there makes them suffer. Eos fell. If that forest falls, Ozzurod will be hidden no more, and it will fall too. I don't want that for these people.
It will not. If you could just promise me, perhaps, one thing.
Of course.
Tell everyone to lighten up. Enjoy a nice meal or ale. We will return with the monster's entrails, if they would so like. It is not a problem for Sanguis Populi.
I hope you're right.
Confidence isn't really my strong suit. But when Swan does proclaim something like this, you can't believe that it will be true.
And as those last words are spoken, the purple field that was flickering, that the mages were struggling to hold open, momentarily drops, and the mage looks back to you all one last time and goes, return, and we'll wait for you. And if you do bring that monster's head, we'll make sure to throw you all the finest of parades.
A parade! Now that I adore.
Have 12 graves ready for when we return.
Potentially 16.
No, the knights shall be in the crypt.
I forgot.
I'll send someone to dig the graves now.
Let's make haste.
And as you exit the gates of Ozzurod, you look upon a clearing. The Illusory Forest is already playing tricks on you the moment you step outside, and you haven't even fully stepped into it. The scarlet grass seems to have a heartbeat that thuds in unison across the whole landscape. And the specks of dirt that escape the snow seem to float around your boots as you march forward. On the other side of the clearing, hundreds of feet away, you see the mass of ever-shifting trees that make up the forest proper. You hear the sound of a blood-curdling scream somewhere near the edge of the forest. The spotlight is yours, knights. Go forth.
I believe we all heard the scream, yes?
Unfortunately.
Into action so fast. I love when we get to go out.
Let me scout ahead. As the cape unfurls into bat wings and I ascend into the sky, do I see anything?
As you fly upward into the sky and you all watch the silhouette of Blythe be illuminated by the largest moon, you, Blythe, can see all the way towards the edge of the forest what looks to be a satyr who's trying his best. He looks a little bit bruised and battered already, trying his best to crawl out of the brush. He seems to be looking over his shoulder as if something is chasing him.
I descend immediately and inform my compatriots of the situation. A satyr. They look like they are being chased. If we hurry, we might be able to save them.
Do we have to hurry?
Well, you can take your sweet time, Swan, while I try and do my best to keep the casualties at a low.
Let's go.
Elvira silently follows behind, truly not in a rush, for this satyr is not within my jurisdiction.
I don't rush
yet.
either.
That's cold.
I do.
And so, as you grow nearer, this is where we're going to start getting to the points where the approaches are going to start pulling from your... you have 5 total for every single of the 3 approaches. And once you hit 0 on them, you'll start facing consequences for trying to reuse them. So, considering you are leading the pack here, Blythe, you are scooping in on this satyr who's already panicking. He's already scared, and as he looks up and he sees you coming on the horizon, you hear him screaming, "Help! Help!" How do you approach this scenario?
I make haste. I make haste, and I try to get there as soon as I can.
All right. So you manage to swoop in, and literally right as you arrive, you see rustling in the bushes. 1 bush rustling, 2, and then 3. You've heard about these monsters from beyond that you're being sent out here to find. They have smaller ones, almost like a hunting dog. No one's killed one of the big ones yet, but these ones are all still dangerous. And you see one roll from outside of one of these bushes. You see finger, and then finger, and then finger, and then finger, and then finger, and like a tumbleweed made of roiling hands, just battering and bruising themselves as they force themselves to roll toward this man's feet. It emerges from one of the bushes, but then it flickers as another one enters from another bush, as the Illusory Forest is beginning to warp the environment.
Can you stand?
I fucked up my leg on the thorns. And you see that his right leg has already been gashed, and you don't think it was the thorns of this bush he's currently in just by looking at it, but perhaps his adrenaline is moving too fast to think about what could have possibly done it. His right leg is pretty maimed.
Is there a way for me to be able to heal him?
Do you have a sky thing? Syringe thing?
A syringe thing, yes. Mm-hmm. Power name heal, range 1. Effect heal 2 to any single knight. Can I transfer that over?
Yes, I believe you can use that here. How does it look as you're attempting to heal this man?
I open up a small pouch with tools, syringes and scalpels and sutures, and with a certain dexterity, even with the armored gauntlets on their hand, they are able to suture some of the cuts and bruises, and with that manipulate the blood around the leg.
Mm-hmm.
To create some form of hemorrhaging to tourniquet the leg.
Got you. And so you're manipulating the blood here in an attempt to ease this man's pain and give him, a leg to stand on. And as you're doing this, you can tell that you're already succeeding in handling the healing of this. You've been doing this for a long time. And as you're managing this, you see the third bush, the hands roll out like a tumbleweed of flesh approaching you. And it's going to attempt to attack you while you're busy healing this man. And I would like for you to spend a haste to see if you can avoid it, but you could use a different one, but it will come with a slight consequence.
I'll attempt to use a haste.
How do you dodge this thing?
While I have my pack open, I take one of the scalpels and slash towards it to hopefully make it avoid me and give me an opening to roll away.
Wonderful. So you slash at it towards the air, and it literally, as it was flying towards you, as it sees the blade come out and swing towards it, you see the fingers on the bottom half of this ball grab onto the brush of one of the bushes and stop its momentum so it won't get slashed, buying you enough time to roll out of the way. And as this is happening, Elvira and Swan, this is around the time where you're starting to finally make it over here. And you're starting to see what Blythe is seeing. Downed satyr who's currently getting medical treatment from Blythe, and roiling balls of hands rolling out from the brush.
Okay. I think just as Kendo and I had a small, a wordless exchange, it's just sort of like, would you like, no, okay. Is by any chance any of the hands in a line, like a line from each other, or in sort of an order?
The ones that are a little bit deeper into the forest are in a little bit of a line, though you'd have to move a bit toward the left to line it up perfectly.
I have something called Let Loose. I'd like to hurl my spear like a lightning bolt through the air. My range is up to 4. I can deal 1 harm to anything in every space the spear travels through.
And so as you throw the spear and it cuts through the brush, you see it going towards these 2 roiling balls of hands, and then it flickers as the first illusion fades, and then it goes through the second one and spears the second one straight into the tree. And you see the hands writhing, and you almost hear like a squealing, but it's not audible. It's in your head. It echoes, and it's unnatural, unnerving. It's psychic. It's boundary breaking. The squeals are never ending.
The Badlands. Legend has it that beneath the dust, something old and powerful still whispers to any gunslinger foolish enough to listen. One day, aboard a doomed train into the wastes, 3 unlucky travelers hear that call. A runaway socialite, a shape-shifting bounty hunter, and a retired thief turned family man. Will our outcasts find what they're looking for?
I mean, we're already here. Let's have a little fun.
You really went in there, guns blazing.
I thought that was the plan.
My potions are miraculous.
I thought we were being quiet. Oh, Stump only has 1 volume. Sorry.
Wild roses grow out of his mouth, having filled his lungs.
What's happening out there?
Violence.
Find out on Mage Hand High Five.
Elvira, what are you up to?
I think Elvira decides to just walk over towards where this satyr and Blythe are.
All right. The one that had stopped itself on the bush from being slashed by the scalpel is now dropped into the bush and then rolled out of the bush. And you see it move forward and somersaulting off of 2 of the hands that it is made of, launches itself again, rolling towards you through the air. And now you're standing between Blythe and the satyr. So I would like to ask you to spend haste, or you could use another one with a consequence.
Yeah, I'll spend haste for that.
All right. How are you hastily reacting to this thing?
I think it's, along with this new body, Elvira was already like kind of faster than she probably should be for someone her size, but this new body is even faster and stronger. And so there's like almost at the perfect moment to be able to do so, takes her weapon, which is no longer the torch-topped quarterstaff, it is now this sleek scythe. The actual like shaft of it is like this really dark wood carved with runes that Elvira can't read, and this dark blade, almost kind of Vanta black in the way like it like you can't tell its depth just from looking at it from its profile, and the speed at which she moves it seems almost as if she went from standing with it lowered to her side, and then it goes from like being like to her side to almost she just lifted her hand into the air, but really there's a full motion that has happened that the satyr most certainly can't see, and whether the creature could perceive it or not doesn't really matter at this moment.
Yeah. So as you go ahead and you bring this blade out, on whether or not this creature perceived it, you don't see any eyes on this thing. Yeah. So you're not sure how it perceives in the first place.
Yeah.
And you were bringing this blade out with the intention of blocking it, or with the intention of slashing it?
With the intention of like slashing it, like just cutting it clean in half.
Wonderful. And so you bring the blade up and slice it in half. It goes like right between fingers, and then it goes up through the body and through the weird mass of flesh that all the hands are connected to. And it cuts the thing in half, and bile of a strange, it is red, but it's not quite as red as you're used to. It's almost diluted, maybe a little bit closer to a pink, just a smidge. As those two halves fall to the ground, Swan, you see the trees above you begin to rustle as well, and your spear is currently in the tree where you launched it into the third handball thing. As this tree rustles above you, I would like you to either spend haste, or you can use another one at another cost.
A question.
Yes.
If I use this haste, am I able to get my spear back immediately? Swan's priority may be more towards her spear, so I would love to take a consequence if I can prioritize that rather than really getting out of the way, if that makes sense.
So your goal is to get to the spear.
Yes.
That we could still use haste for that, because that is still based on quickly reacting, as you are essentially currently under attack, and you are able to use that haste to get there if you wish. All right, so you spend some haste, rolling out of the way of what was another strange being from a beyond, again shaped like a tumbleweed of hands, falls down. And as it slams into the ground behind you, you see it leave a dent in the layer of snow. And you see it already tinting that snow with that same slightly pinkish red of the blood that it has accumulated just from paddling itself across the ground and lunging itself through the forest as of now. And you're moving toward your spear to go grab it and pull it from the tree and the carcass of the other one you've already slain. You have successfully managed to do so, but how do you approach the situation now? Dealer's choice.
Then I will just sort of say into the air, this one, go after this one.
Okay, so
create an advantage, sort of open point for my teammates.
All right, so you point out a weak spot. Now that its intention is entirely on you, Blythe and Elvira, you two hear this shout out as Swan calls that there's another one. Which of you two is going for it?
I'll unfurl my wings again, and if I may use a valor.
Yes.
To rise up above it and snatch it as my greaves claws protrude from them. And I snatch it in the ground, grab it, and then smash it again with ferocity.
Like a violent bird of prey, you swoop down onto this thing, grabbing it within your talons, and you smash it to death into the ground. And as its body lays limp, you hear no more rustling. The satyr looks up at you all and goes,
"Oh, thank you. I've been running for so long."
Is Ozzurod this way? I heard about it. It's safe there, I heard.
Is this one illusory?
What? No, I'm not an illusion, I'm real.
Is there a way for us to tell?
You can at the very least see their hooves do seem to have weight in the snow. Okay. However, if that's enough proof for you all is more of a matter of personal choice.
Doctor, you stuck him, yes?
Well, I wouldn't say stuck him, but I was able to manipulate the blood. It doesn't seem to be an illusion, at least to my expertise.
Yes. The town you seek is nearby. And just points the scythe in the direction.
Thank you.
Before you go, where were you from?
I was from Eos.
Eos?
It fell a year ago. I was a blacksmith. But my apprentice didn't live.
This might be a bit much. And I know you've been through a quite traumatizing time. But in order for us to stop this, we might need to ask you, what did you see? What has befallen Eos?
It came from the sky.
The sky? Blythe?
This great, pale monstrosity. Larger than the biggest of towers in Eos's beautiful city. And it ripped open its face. And these things emerged. We had no choice but to run because the mages fell so fast. They didn't even know what hit them. And for the past year, I've just been going from town to town. And they keep on spreading, and I'm not sure what the hell they're looking for.
So you've encountered it more than once. Was there a sound, a smell that it brought whenever it appeared?
That's the thing. There's nothing. They don't breathe. I don't think they eat. They don't seem to speak. I've only seen blood drawn once. And it was now. And they look down at the halves of these creatures that you three have done away. But there's bigger ones than this. When I was running through the forest, I passed the waterfalls, and there was one of the leaders, I suppose. Long and lithe, like a snake, with a crooked smile, but no eyes to gaze upon me. And you can see just a haunted look in these sunken in, tired eyes of this satyr. I just ran, and these things followed me. I'm lucky I bumped into you. I'd be dead.
I kneel down to the satyr. You've been so brave. A year of running from the fall of your kingdom. Sorcerers, monstrosities from the sky. You have given us much. Your blacksmithing gifts will not be lost on the Crimson Palace. In fact, they will not be lost to us right now. And I grab the shoulder and the face of this satyr, almost ripping apart the two appendages to create myself a proper divot here, and I bite into the satyr's neck.
No.
He squirms in your grasp as you bite into his neck.
What does he smell like?
Like mud, sweat, tears, and a hint of lavender, perhaps from a perfume of someone he once knew.
I enjoy him to the very last drop.
And you too, Elvira and Blythe, watch as Swan Arcadi, the vampire, just like the two of you, bites and tears into the flesh of this man, spilling blood into the snow. How do you two react as you see this?
The moment Swan does it, Elvira knows what is happening and like what's going to happen. And so I think goes to the remains, because like the creatures that we killed, the hand creatures, right? Their like bodies are still here, right?
Yes.
Elvira is going to start collecting them, and is going to take a pelting knife that she carries on her, and using skills and techniques that she has learned as a part of her oath, is going to skin them and fashion them into like a large bag, essentially using the skins of these hand creatures.
Gnarly.
I rush up to Swan in a very aggressive stance. You just had to sate your hunger. You couldn't have saved it for the beasts. This person was safe.
They were not amongst the people or the bodies that they were expecting to come home.
Doesn't mean that we can take
Why not?
a life. We have more than enough at the city.
Blythe, I'm sure I have mentioned often how much more beautiful you have become after the banquet.
Don't patronize me. Why are you
Then do
like
not-
this?
Then do not misunderstand. This is all for such a greater purpose than just this one life. We have no need for blacksmiths. We have everything we need. Let us continue.
I wish that this new beauty you came across didn't only reflect outside but within. I take the remains, I set them aside by a tree, clean the body up as much as I can, and outside of the cold iron helmet, a single tear of crimson drips down and is wiped away by a gauntlet, leaving a smear of blood.
And as the corpses of these strange hand creatures are collected, and the body of the satyr is set aside, leftover drops of blood from the tearing that occurred earlier seeps into the snow. And as you three go deeper into the forest, that blood begins to grow, and the forest gains a heartbeat The trees begin to shift, as you know they are wont to do. The Illusory Forest comes to life. But the thing that may strike you as unusual, for those of you who venture here often, is that there's a menacing intent this time. Because the forest is under attack, and it's just assuming that you're part of the problem. You see vines and leaves and branches begin to move around you as you go deeper and deeper into the forest, and you begin to eventually see some that phase through you as illusions are wont to do, but eventually one of you does feel a vine nearly grab around your ankle, and then eventually you see the eyes of glowing creatures in the night staring down at you. You're not sure which ones are and are not real. The forest is beginning to attack you all. How would you all like to approach the problem of carrying forward through this madness?
Find the heart of it.
Is there a way that we can, determine the path towards the heart from here?
Yeah, if you look around, eventually you've heard the tales of Ozzurod have a mention that there's runes written on the trees a little bit higher up in the air that guide you toward the center tree of the entire forest, a huge, massive one that makes up what would be considered the heart. You just have to follow it.
Then I think what Elvira is going to do is I'm going to take my my scythe, and I'm going to use my ability for the sword, which is what we've kind of reflavored this as, to cut through an obstacle in the forest. When you do so, there is always collateral damage. I'm going to raise my scythe up, and I think as I do, the light, the ambient lighting from around us starts to get absorbed into this Vanta black blade, almost as if a cloud were passing over the moon in front of us, but just localized in this area. And I raise my scythe, and with my already very large and long arms, I bring my scythe down, and it's almost as if the reach that this has is it's scores of these trees just carving a path through the forest and getting these branches away from us.
So as you use this ability, first off, this is going to count as your strike back against the forest quest as a knight.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Let's go.
But also, you pull out this blade, and as these trees begin to approach, Swan and Blythe, you watch as this blade goes over your head with how much taller the shoulder of Elvira is from the ground compared to you. It just goes right over all of your heads, slicing a clear pathway away from just the circle around you and leading a little bit forward in the front of you. And that tree with the guiding rune, with a direction pointing toward the heart of the forest, stands ahead of you. The path is clear and you can run.
To the heart.
I take flight, not above the canopy, but within the forest, to avoid vines or roots that might try to impede my movement.
Got you. All right. So as the three of you rush through the forest with Blythe soaring overhead, weaving between the trunks of the trees, the forest begins to continue warping, and eventually the two of you on the ground, what you feel is the ground at a certain point as you go past the landmark tree, the ground almost feels like it lifts below you. And the forest begins to fade away as the sky takes over. And Blythe, you from above them are looking down at them, riding what appears to be a large, massive, gargantuan bat made that's being projected by this illusion, as you now all feel as though you yourselves are flying through the sky toward the heart of the tree.
Whoa.
Yes.
What do you all do as this is happening? How are you feeling?
Almost throw up or fall down or something. Like, it is so disorienting.
Right. As the two of you are on this giant bat creature, I would like both of you to spend 1 valor as it begins to thrash, attempting to knock you off of it as the forest has this one last stunt to try to stop you. And as that is happening, Blythe, you flying above this bat-like creature, you can see that as it thrashes around, it's now nosedived out of the sky, and the wind is rushing past your compatriots on its back. They're managing to hold on to its fur, but you can tell that at the angle that it's going down, it's going to crash into a cliff, and you're not sure if that cliff is illusory or not. What do you do? How do you approach this problem? Your choice.
Okay. I am going to use my guile to try and figure out a time where I can bring this bat down where it falls short of the cliff, in the event that my fellow knights can't escape the back of it. So I want to kind of time it and try to take this bat down by flying underneath it and taking my claws and severing its belly, just slashing at it open.
All right. So you fly down, waiting perfectly, waiting for the correct angle, the correct moment, the exact second. You don't know if that cliff is illusory or not. You don't even know what the hell you're looking at right now. But you know that you can make one perfect surgical movement with that claw, severing this potentially illusory bat's stomach. And it completely loses control of its body. And it doesn't slam into this cliff. It instead comes down to a skidding stop, and you all feel suddenly the forest come back, and you're no longer in the sky tumbling. You have all but Blythe collapsed into a mound of snow.
As they collapse in the snow, I look at my hand, and is there blood?
There is not.
I just slowly approach them.
As you three pull yourselves out of the snow and reconvene, you're in a different part of the forest now. A little bit closer to the heart of the forest that you seek. This is going to be a long night.
Blood in the Snow features Oleander as Game Master, Kendrick as Elvira Jabril, Fabian Lillet as Blythe, and Josephine as Swan Arcadi, with editing and sound design by Oleander.